Value cards. Doesn't sound very controversial. They're basically gift cards or prepaid credit cards. Why would these be the preferred method of payment for criminals or terrorists? Loopholes in U.S. law could be to blame. Lauren Lister is live in the newsroom with more.
Christine, this is a prepaid credit card. Many U.S. citizens would recognize one like this. It's a gift card you could buy at a drugstore. And even ones you can use to get cash can be obtained with a simple online application. This is the online application, in fact, for the U.S. company Payoneer. Now, this is the company now tied to an international assassination. Now, you may recall reports this week revealed the hitman who killed a top Hamas commander in Dubai in January allegedly used these prepaid credit cards from a U.S. bank to pay for their plane flights and hotels. Now, the assassins, who you can see here in this surveillance video we're playing, they're suspected of being from Israel's Mossad spy agency. Now, they allegedly used information from fraudulent passports to get these cards. Well, now in media reports, the U.S. bank MetaBank, who backed these cards, is defending itself. They're saying it followed regulations and the bank's procedures didn't flag the card users as suspicious. And all that may be true, which is exactly the problem. Federal law enforcement officials I spoke to say this example reveals black holes in U.S. laws which regulate these stored value cards and that have been a problem for years. For example, I'm going to use this story. In the case, these hitmen got these prepaid credit cards from the company Payoneer. Now, this is a company which issues the cards, which are then backed by a bank, in this case, MetaBank. So they're kind of like a middleman. Now, federal officials tell me to the U.S. government, prepaid credit cards aren't defined as currency. And because of that, the issuers, in this case, Payoneer, they're required to have anti-money laundering policies, but they're not required to file suspicious activity reports, and they're also not required to register with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network of the Treasury. Now, though, banks do have to file these suspicious person reports. In the case of these prepaid cards, the banks typically just hold the money in pooled accounts. The banks aren't required to look at the individuals who are actually getting this money, and they work with a middleman for that. Now, this allows criminals to avoid punishment and also have a great deal of anonymity. Now, a few key U.S. lawmakers are trying to get these regulations changed, and in fact, they wrote this letter to Secretary of the Treasury Timothy Geithner, again drawing attention to the loopholes, and also because February 16th, the Treasury Department, missed a deadline that was set to come up with new regulations. Now, sources tell me Homeland Security and the Treasury, who have to work together on this, still seem to be in disagreement about the issue.
Lauren, let's talk about how these guys, in this case that you're talking about, how they were able to get these cards overseas. Talk to me about the regulations that are in place right now.
Well, there are no federal regulations that regulate international people getting these U.S. prepaid cards. Now, this also brings to light a few other loopholes in the regulations. For one, you don't have to declare these. These aren't considered currency. So when people cross the borders with these cards, they can load them up with money, and officials can never confiscate them. That's just another one of the issues surrounding these cards.
All right, Lauren Lister joining us from the newsroom. Thanks so much.